Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 10:16 a.m. on Wednesday, the 15th of October 2025. It looks quite it's come up quite pretty under the iPhone 16 Pro Max camera, but it actually looks quite dull. So I'm making this video with a bit of bathos and sadness because I very exuberantly and enthusiastically and excitedly, because I actually really love grinding back opals and playing with them, and it's a meditation and amusing, and it's I don't know, I somehow find it meditative is the right word, because I'm busy with my hands and I'm looking at the stone and I'm sort of concentrating, and meanwhile listening to podcasts and, you know, having my mind in all sorts of different places at once. And it's a lovely distraction from stress and anxieties and worries and the business of the isness of being a human, a spirit in human form. And to be fair, you kind of meld a bit with the stone or any project that you're working on. I was making this video to complain about how shit it looks, but actually in this video it actually looks quite wonderful. But I started this video to complain because as I was grinding down, I've only ground it back to 1500 grit. As you can see, the wood fossil part is still quite rough, which I'm going to continue working just on the wood sides. Well, it's not wood anymore, but stone. But I'm going to work on these sides to bring them up to a high polish. But I decided, I panicked because I was losing, every time I went over the opal, I lost too much opal. There was a fair bit more colour than what I'm left with here. So I'm grieving that I killed my beautiful opal, which I tend to do when I work on opals, because I'm inexperienced and I'm a bit, you know, va-va-va-vom, rip, shit and bust, and before I realise it, I've chewed up opals, the valuable part. So that self-sabotage has to stop, because it's impoverishing and precludes the outcome of what I'm trying to achieve by grinding back these lovely Boulder opals. So all the experienced opal cutters will be laughing at me right now and waggling their fingers and going, "Oh, psychedelic dreamer, why did you do that?" But, you know, you'll be pleased that I stopped myself after I looked at it this morning, realised that I'd lost a fair bit of colour. There's still a fair bit of glint in that bit there. Isn't it lovely? Let's just zoom in. There's still colour, but there was a lot more that I've, you know, ground off. So Mama T's a bit upset with herself. Very upset. Very, very upset. But it's a lesson. It's a spiritual lesson. It came to me just now actually, as I was finishing polishing, that I self-sabotage. I'm just overly excited and enthusiastic, and love potentiates, it scares men away, and in creativity it burns off too much of the good stuff, and leaves me a bit flaccid and flat and without having the highest potentiates. And it's a weird feckin' thing. You can see all the rough grinding marks. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should have just kept going through the grits. But look, I got scared. I was losing too much opal, and the point of it is to keep as much colour as possible. So what I've done, I'm going to be honest with you, all the opal experts will be nodding sagely. It's like, she's saving her assets, what's left of them. She's been holding on to her omega assets including her for JJ, all her life, and she's holding on and she's keeping it precious and pristine and saving the best for last. Am I right? There's a metaphor in that alone. But anyway, so what I decided to do this morning when I looked at it and freaked out that I was losing too much opal was I jumped from 1500 grit and I went straight to a very expensive, very precious diamond paste. And I only have, let me just show you, because this is a teaching thing for beginners and idiots like me who really, we're just fumbling and finding our way by trial and error and learning from our own mistakes. So what I did was I thought, wow, if I keep grinding at this top layer of beautiful opal, I'm going to lose it all. I'm going to lose it all, and then I'll just be left with this very nice but reasonably bland stone that it's attached to. So the Mama T, the psychedelic dreamer, my other nickname on Power Talk was anything but bland, and everyone knew it was me because of my other nick being psychedelic dreamer. As soon as I'd come into a room, they'd go, "We know it's you, dreamer." Okay, whatever. But I don't do bland and boring. I don't. If I get bored or I feel blanded out, then I create anarchy and chaos in my own version of excitement. I can't stand bland. Anyway, so what I did in kind of a moment of panic this morning when I reassessed the stone was I went through the grits from 14 to 50 to 100,000, and it's come up a treat, and I think I've saved what's left of the opal, and I'm not going to touch any more of that. It can just stay like that. This is its finished state, the top opaly bits, and this little, what I call the toe here. You have to get in close to see the real colour underneath, which is a shame because that was more visible prior to my grinding and whetting and whelping, and now in Yiddish kvetching, complaining and moaning and whining about my project. But anyway, I'm going to, as I said, keep working on the petrified wood part, the wood fossil part, bring that up all really nice and shiny to meet this. This could actually be shinier if I'd gone through from 1500 up to 8000, but as I said, I'm losing too much of the opalescent colour, so not having that, people of Earth. I'm not having that. So I just wanted to show you what I did wrong and what I hope I've done right to save it as best as possible. And thank you for watching, and for your interest in my Titania's rhyme, dear goddess, Titania's around little artistry journey with this new opal project. As you can see, I've still got these 3 big chunks. I wish I could cut them smaller, but I can't. I don't have access to a special lapidary saw, and I'm loath to join clubs because invariably I don't fit in very well, and things get toxic and turn rancid, and I end up distressed having to leave. That includes work situations, even university when I was a young girl, religious organisations, various dance spaces. I don't know why that is. It's like some dark demon doesn't want me to have my tribe, my community, my people who vibe with me and sabotages or utterly goes out to destroy me out of envy or spite. I don't know why that is. You can't get much lower in the echelon of society than, you know, a wild white witch, Jewish shaman on the edges, marginalised on society, but that's partly part of my power, is that I have the ability to speak up when others have too much to risk with their reputations and jobs on the line, and it's what saved me during the COVID epoch. Being the characteristic other and not having anything much to lose saved me, people of Earth. So there is an advantage to being the other sometimes, but I did have my hopes set on finding people that would include me in their community and love me and be good and kind to me and respect me, and I got a bit of a taste of that in recent years, which was so overwhelmingly seductive and all-consuming that I kind of lost my head a little bit over that, to be honest, because I'm not used to being welcomed and included, and indeed even treated as though I were a celebrity, which was a bit astonishing. I still don't know what that was about, except maybe my fierce, defiant stance on COVID, which people realised after everyone started becoming very, very ill, very, very suddenly and unexpectedly, that I was correct all along, and gave me a little bit of, oddly, backhandedly, a little bit of celebrity status, which I struggled with for quite some time, had no idea what was going on there. Well, anyway, all things pass, and now we're back to a new kind of normal where we're living our best lives and holding our own here on planet Earth, and the Mama T is slumped back to where she belongs to, in her little corner of the planet, in her corner of the internet, reasonably isolating again and strutting her stuff with her little opal projects. So there's quite some nice colours in these. This one would be really nice cut up. I've already decided I would do it on the diagonal if I had the ability to cut it, because look, it's got some nice pieces of opal in there. Not much in this, but then you don't know if you cut it what's on the inside. That's the joy and delight of Boulder opal, is, you know, once you cut through it, you can get quite a nice surprise. So, but I'm happy with this piece that I've been working on. I'm happier now that I can see the colour through the camera a bit more. It's still there, I haven't totally destroyed it, so I feel better now. I was having quite a freak out about that. All right, people of Earth, wherever you are on planet Earth and all other interdimensional entities and sentient beings that pick up our radio waves across the ether and across the cosmos, I send you greetings of universal, unconditional love. Just please don't fuck my vibe, 3i Atlas. Be kind to us. We're a scurvy, smelly, fragile lot, but some of us have great genius tucked away inside us that still needs to be developed, and some of us are deserving of a beautiful life, even if we only co-create it with the gods rather whimsically. So, blessed be from sacred space at Titania's realm.